On this date, July 9, 1850, President of the United States Zachary Taylor died from a severe case of infectious diarrhea. He was 65 years old. Zachary Taylor was known to many by his nickname Old Rough and Ready, a moniker he earned during his military career in the U.S. Army, which began during the War of 1812 when he was enlisted as a captain. He was a colonel during the Black Hawk War of 1832. He became a war hero during the Second Seminole War, earning him the nickname that would follow him for the rest of his life. His bravery during the War with Mexico in 1847 made him a national hero. Many political parties wanted him to be their candidate for the upcoming presidential election of 1848. Taylor, however, needed some convincing to run for president because he hated politicians, was apolitical, and never voted. He told the political parties that he would not accept any nominations from them. The Whig Party, however, convinced him to become their man as they envisioned another William Harrison, a war hero whom they could control because he would just be another empty suit that would rubber stamp their laws and policies. Millard Fillmore was chosen as his running mate. He was a former congressman and the current comptroller of New York, who was a compromise for the Northern Whigs to counterbalance Taylor's pro-slavery views and policies. The Whig Party won the presidential election of 1848 due to the Democrats splitting into two political factions when Martin Van Buren left the party to form his own anti-slavery Free Soil Party. Zachary Taylor's term in office would last a little over a year. He spent that time organizing the newly acquired Western Territory and trying to find a compromise between the pro- and anti-slavery factions within the U.S. government. On July 4, 1850, President Taylor was at the construction site of the Washington Monument, which a ceremonial stone was being dedicated by George Washington's adopted son, George Parke Custis. It was a hotter day than usual in Washington, D.C., so to cool off, Taylor gorged himself on large amounts of iced milk and cherries to cool off. Around the same time, there was an Asiatic cholera pandemic, which was terrorizing the poor people of Washington, D.C. and the surrounding region. Taylor became gravely ill a couple of days later. His doctor, Alexander Witherspoon, diagnosed him with cholera morbus, also known as infectious diarrhea. The flummoxed doctors gathered around the dying president, giving him the same crude treatments that William Harrison received. They bled him, tried cupping, gave him large amounts of opium, calomel to purge his system, and ipecac syrup, but all it did was kill him faster. Realizing he was dying, the 65-year-old Taylor told the attending medical assistant, "I should not be surprised if this were to terminate in my death. I did not expect to encounter what has beset me since my elevation to the presidency. God knows I have endeavored to fulfill what I conceived to be an honest duty, but I have been mistaken. My motives have been misconstrued, and my feelings most grossly outraged." President Taylor died on the night of July 9th. His vice president, Millard Fillmore, was sworn in the next day as the new president.